If I told you that one of the most commonly eaten foods in America, something you probably bought this week, could contain measurable traces of the same chemical sprayed on weeds before harvest, would you believe me? Probably not, because the products we're talking about are not some obscure discount labels. These are items sitting front and center on the bread aisle of every major grocery store in this country. Some carry organic certification, some charge premium prices, some are the exact loaves millions of families pick up every single week, fully confident they're making the safest choice for themselves and their kids. And here's what should really make you stop. The evaluation that raised these concerns wasn't done by bloggers or social media accounts. It came from independent laboratories using standard detection methods. What they found does not match what the packaging leads most people to believe. Today I'm going to walk you through which popular bread options have shown positive results for glyphosate residues, why certain organic breads surprisingly ranked among the worst performers, which 3 products consistently stand out when it comes to cleaner sourcing, what simple practical rules you can use the next time you're in the bread aisle. And I want to tell you something right now. The biggest surprise in this conversation is not which product ranked worst. The biggest surprise is how many people are trusting labels that were never designed to answer the question they're actually asking. Stay with me. Once you understand what's happening behind the marketing on these packages, the way you shop for bread is going to change permanently, not in a complicated way, in a way that makes things much clearer and much simpler. Let's get into it. Before we go any further, here's the single most important thing I want you to take from this video. This is not really a story about bread. This is a story about the gap between what a food label tells you and what laboratory evaluation actually reveals. Most people operate on a simple and understandable assumption. If the package says organic, it must be clean. If it says whole grain, it must be nutritious. If it says natural, it must be safe. These assumptions feel reasonable, and the food industry has worked very hard to make sure you feel that way. Here is the reality. Organic certification evaluates how a crop was grown. It does not automatically require that every finished loaf on the shelf be tested for herbicide residues. That distinction matters enormously. A farm can follow certified organic practices and still have grain contaminated through neighboring fields, drift from adjacent conventional crops, shared storage facilities, transport equipment used for both organic and conventional grain, processing facilities that handle both types. The organic label answers one question. Was this grain grown without intentional pesticide use? The laboratory assessment answers a different question. What does the finished bread actually contain? These are not the same question. For years, most consumers have not realized they were asking the wrong one. When you reach for an organic loaf expecting it to be glyphosate-free based on certification, you're trusting a label designed to answer a different question than the one you're actually asking. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup. It's been used in agriculture for decades. In many wheat farming operations, glyphosate is applied shortly before harvest to dry out the crop evenly, making harvesting more efficient. When that wheat is milled into flour and baked into bread, those residues carry through into the finished product. Third-party laboratory assessment has detected measurable levels in a wide range of commercial loaves across the United States. Several independent laboratory reports found measurable glyphosate residues in products from well-known names: Great Value Market Pantry, Organic Oroweat, Organic Nature's Own, Arnold Organic Wonderbread, Sara, Honey Wheat, Pepperidge Farm, Dave's Killer Bread, 365 Whole Foods. Look at that list for a moment. Several include the word organic in their name or marketing. Dave's Killer Bread built an entire identity around being a cleaner, more conscious choice. The 365 line is sold exclusively at Whole Foods, a store many shoppers specifically visit because they believe products meet a higher standard. And yet some of the highest glyphosate readings came from exactly these premium-positioned products: budget option, mass-produced, low quality, expected to have issues. Analysis revealed measurable glyphosate residues, but here's what's important. Great Value doesn't market itself as organic or premium. No deception about what you're getting. The loaf contains what you'd expect from an industrial budget option. At least the marketing is honest about what this product is. Organic means clean, premium sourcing, safer for my family. Despite organic certification, analysis showed measurable glyphosate residues. This is where the gap between certification and laboratory assessment becomes critical. People paid premium prices specifically for the organic assurance. But the organic label answered a farming question, not a contamination question. Organic farming practices don't guarantee organic end products. Package says organic, implying chemical-free loaves. Yet independent evaluation detected measurable residues, another example of the label reality gap. The irony is striking. Consumers paying premium prices for organic certification weren't getting what they expected. The certification system and the product assessment system are measuring completely different things. Nature's Own sounds natural and wholesome, one of the most trusted options in America. Analysis confirmed measurable glyphosate residues. Nature's Own is owned by Grupo Bimbo, one of the world's largest food corporations. The nature branding is positioning strategy. The ingredient list is typical industrial production: refined flour, high fructose corn syrup, multiple additives, preservatives. Brand name doesn't reflect what's actually inside. Arnold sounds traditional. Organic sounds safe. Yet evaluation showed measurable glyphosate residues despite organic positioning. Arnold is owned by Grupo Bimbo, same parent as Nature's Own, Sara Wonderbread. Same parent company, similar supply chains, similar contamination issues. Multiple options on the shelf are actually the same corporation wearing different masks. Classic American loaf. 100 years of history trusted by families. Analysis revealed measurable glyphosate residues, also owned by Grupo Bimbo. The ingredient list contains 29 plus items. High fructose corn syrup, multiple emulsifiers, preservatives. The classic positioning is tradition marketing. The product itself is purely industrial optimization. Legacy branding doesn't mean better ingredients, charges more than budget options. Honey suggests natural sweetness. Wheat suggests whole grain nutrition. Evaluation showed measurable glyphosate residues. The ingredient list reveals no real honey benefits, just added sugars and multiple emulsifiers for industrial softness. Also Grupo Bimbo owned. Marketing language obscures industrial reality. Pepperidge Farm remembers, implies tradition, quality, care. Charges 2 to 3 times more than budget options. Analysis revealed measurable glyphosate residues. Same industrial additives. Same contamination risk as mainstream products. Yet consumers pay significantly more, believing they're investing in something fundamentally different. Premium pricing doesn't correlate with cleaner products. Dave's explicitly markets as healthier and cleaner. It's positioned as the conscious consumer's answer to exactly these concerns. Premium pricing, health-conscious messaging, clean image. But here's what the assessment revealed: measurable glyphosate residues. This matters because consumers are specifically paying premium prices for the cleaner positioning. Organic options would have disappointed, but Dave's marketed itself as the solution to this exact problem. Owned by Flowers Foods, also owns Nature's Own. Conscious marketing can effectively hide industrial reality. Sold exclusively at Whole Foods. Shoppers specifically visit Whole Foods believing products meet higher standards. Remarkably, some of the highest glyphosate findings came from 365 Whole Foods whole wheat, reportedly above 1,000 parts per billion in some evaluations. This is perhaps the most striking finding. Whole Foods markets exclusivity and higher standards. The 365 line is positioned as their quality product, yet the assessment showed it tested among the highest for glyphosate residues. Retail positioning does not equal product verification. You might see 30 different products on the shelves appearing to be 30 independent companies. That's not reality. Grupo Bimbo owns Sara, Nature's Own, Wonderbread, Arnold. Flowers Foods owns Dave's Killer Bread, Nature's Own, Shared. Amazon, Whole Foods owner, controls 365 line. Multiple options on the same shelf, priced and marketed very differently, share similar supply chains, ingredient sourcing, and manufacturing approaches. The packaging looks different. The price is different. The marketing story is different. But the fundamental production logic is often the same. When consumers pay premium prices believing they're getting fundamentally different products, they deserve to know what they're actually purchasing. All 10 of these products showed positive results for glyphosate residues. Some were organic certified, some charged premium prices, some marketed themselves as the conscious choice. yet all showed detectable levels in independent laboratory assessment. This isn't about one bad option or a single contamination event. This is a systemic issue across the industrial bread market. The products that stood out weren't the ones with the best marketing. They were the ones that prioritized third-party verification, transparent sourcing, and minimal processing. When you remove the products that showed positive results and look at what third-party verification and transparent sourcing actually reveal, three options consistently rise to the top. Sprouted grain loaf made from sprouted wheat, barley, millet, lentils, soybeans, and spelt. 10 items, all recognizable, non-GMO, project verified. No detected glyphosate in independent assessment, frozen, no chemical preservatives needed. Consistent focus on minimally processed ingredients for decades. Does something genuinely unusual. Provides traceability information for ingredients. Specifically assesses for glyphosate residues. Carries BIOSH non-glyphosate certification. Clean and short transparency beyond marketing language. No detected glyphosate in third-party assessment. Sprouted grain option with clean short ingredient list. Organic, non-GMO, sprouted grains refrigerated and frozen sections indicates fewer preservatives. Transparent, strong reputation among health-conscious consumers. Clean assessment outcomes. These three products did something different from the other 10. They didn't hide behind organic certification alone. They pursued third-party product verification, not just farming certification. They minimized additives and preservatives. They built identities around transparency, not marketing. Step 1. Turn the package over first. Before looking at the front, find the ingredient list. That's the most important information on the package. Step 2. Count the ingredients. Fewer is almost always better. Aim for fewer than 8 items. Step 3. Look at the first ingredient. If it says enriched flour, that's refined white flour as the primary ingredient. If it says whole wheat flour or sprouted, you're starting from a better foundation. Step 4, look for third-party verification certifications. Non-GMO project verification and BIOSH non-glyphosate certification involve actual product assessment, not just farming evaluation. Step 5, consider storage location. Products in the freezer section generally contain fewer chemical preservatives. Step 6, ignore marketing language on the front. Natural, wholesome, artisan, made with whole grains, these have no strict regulatory definitions. Step 7, when in doubt, look for Food for Life, Ezekiel, 1 Degree Organics, or Silver Hills Sprouted. Don't trust organic alone. Farming certification, not product verification. Don't trust natural, legally meaningless. Don't trust made with whole grains, might be 5% whole grain, 95% refined. Don't trust premium pricing, doesn't correlate with glyphosate-free status. Don't trust familiar company names, consolidation means similar supply chains. Do trust third-party product verification certifications, actual lab results. Do trust short ingredient lists, fewer additives. Do trust frozen storage, indicates minimal preservatives. The 3 recommended products cost more. Ezekiel runs $6 to $8 per loaf. Mainstream loaves cost $2 to $3. If budget matters, and for most families it does, option 1, prioritize your highest frequency uses. If loaves appear at multiple meals, shifting 2 to 3 servings per week to cleaner options reduces exposure without replacing everything. Option 2, make homemade loaves. Traditional loaves with organic flour, water, yeast, salt, cost $1 to $1.50 per loaf, exactly what you put in it. Option 3, buy cleaner options in bulk and freeze. Per serving costs drop significantly. Budget is real, but within the range of choices most families have, practical improvements are possible. It can feel overwhelming when you start learning about the gap between how food is marketed and what verification actually reveals. I see people go through this, that initial feeling of something close to betrayal when they realize products they trusted for years were not telling the full story. The products marketed to you as healthier and safer didn't actually perform differently from budget options when subjected to independent assessment. That's a significant realization, and I don't want to minimize how that feels, but move through that feeling quickly. Get to the more useful emotional response, empowerment. You now know more than the average person standing in the bread aisle. You know what to look for on an ingredient list. You know the difference between farming certification and product verification. You know which products invested in genuine transparency. you know that extended shelf life is often a sign of chemical intervention, not quality. You know how to read the first ingredient and what it tells you about a product's actual composition. That knowledge travels with you into every grocery store trip from this point forward. This conversation wasn't really about glyphosate alone. That's the detail that gets headlines. The deeper truth is about the relationship between what food companies communicate and what their products actually contain. The food industry has become extraordinarily sophisticated at crafting labels that create feelings of trust, health, and safety without technically making false claims. Third-party laboratory verification is one of the very few tools that cuts through that language, and the consistent finding is labels and assessment results don't always match. For millions of families choosing bread products specifically because they believe those options are healthier or safer, that gap between label perception and lab reality is significant. But now you can see past it. Once you develop the habit of reading ingredient lists, understanding certifications, and recognizing marketing language, it becomes second nature. And it doesn't just apply to loaves. The same skills apply to nearly every category on the shelf. The industry counts on people not reading the back of the package. The more you understand this, the more clearly you can see past language designed to make you feel good rather than to inform you. We covered glyphosate, what it is and how it gets into loaves, 10 major products and their assessment results. Why organic certification doesn't guarantee glyphosate-free options, corporate ownership consolidation, and what it means. 3 products that prioritized verification and transparency. 7 practical steps to make better choices. The theme underneath all of it. The front of the package is designed to create feelings. The back of the package and third-party verification reveal reality. If this video helped you understand what's actually in your loaves, subscribe so you continue receiving this kind of clear, evidence-based nutrition and healthy aging content. Check the description for resources, a downloadable label reading guide, recommended products list, and a longevity guide with food recommendations beyond just loaves. Thank you for watching. Use what you learned here the next time you go to the grocery store and share it with someone in your life who would benefit. I'll see you in the next.